Alright, so Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 releases on Netflix on November 15th, and with that, Netflix just shot our very first look at photos from Part 2 of this final season. And for what we're seeing here, I guess things are about to heat up because we're now in the Sekai Taikai with everyone down in Spain getting ready to fight. And even for our Part 1 ended off with that cliffhanger, and especially with rivalries and enemies about to go up against each other. It's going to be so epic as well. And so I'm going to be breaking down all the personal photos in this video, and especially for what we can expect from Part 2 and how it's going to lead into an epic finale, how it's going to close the show away as well. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But now, let's get into it. And now, as you all may know, with Part 1 of Cobra Kai Season 6 is with everyone that is back together, but now with rivalries and enemies start to come together, especially with Daniel and Johnny training all these students to prepare them for the Sekai Taikai, and to pick only 6 competitors to compete in this tournament, and they brought in Mike Barnes. But then at the end of Part 1, it ended with the most epic cliffhanger that Tori is now joining on Cobra Kai. She's on Kreese's side because of what happened to her mother and what drive her so angry of that betrayal and to join his side. And now with Miyagi-Do is now going to go up against Tori and Cobra Kai, and this is how insane that this is, because even though this season has only been split in 3 parts, especially with Part 3 coming in 2025. So I'm curious for how they're gonna close this show with a bang, especially with this tournament. And now, with these photos that were released for Part 2, is of course with the Sekai Taikai, from what we can tell from these first 3 photos right here, especially with the first one that's with Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen that are watching their students compete in the tournament of a lifetime. And then with the second photo right here, it's of course with all the Miyagi-Do students prepared to fight in the Sekai Taikai, and even to watch their friend Tori that again betrayed them to join Cobra Kai, to join Kreese's side. And that was a pretty brutal of what happened at the end of Part 1. But then in this third photo, we can see Tori, who's now on Cobra Kai's side, and she's ready to take them down. And I hope in this final season we can see a Tori and Sam going up against each other. And I don't know which one of them is gonna win. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Sam probably might win. But now, in this fourth photo right here, for what is pretty interesting, is that there's a new cast member added to Part 2 of Cobra Kai's final season, and that is Lewis Tan. And I think he's been in a couple projects, especially as I know him, especially from 2021's Mortal Kombat, and he was also in Deadpool 2. But now, even with them added, what's his character's name, and why is he in this final season? Is he going to be in the tournament for what his role is going to serve in this final season? I hope it is served well, because even with Part 2 that has 5 episodes, again with Part 1 that also had 5 episodes, but now with Part 2 we're going to explore more at the Sekai Taikai, especially with Lewis Tan that has been added. I'm pretty sure on what his background is and how this is going to help, especially in the tournament. And now, in these next couple photos, we can see is Kreese and Johnny as they're about to be having a conversation, and that is about to change the fate of this tournament. Especially with Kreese, and that has some rage towards Johnny as figuring out a way to take him down. But even for what Part 2 has to offer, even though we haven't gotten a trailer yet, but soon, I think that's soon. But even with this conversation between them, what's about to happen, and I think this is about to be turned into an epic fight between the two. And in this next photo, we can see a Daniel LaRusso just being a badass, he is about to fight someone. And I'm pretty sure Part 2 is going to have more fights that we've ever seen, because even though with Part 1, which I pretty much enjoyed, that has some also epic fight scenes as well, but even with Part 2, and I bet it's going to be even more epic, and I bet even Part 3 that it's going to close out the show up brilliantly. It's all good and come full circle. Especially we're gonna see the most awesome epic fight scenes, especially in the tournament, and that's why we see Daniel just just showing off his true self and fighting someone, as we always see him do in the Karate Kid film series. And in this next photo is also pretty interesting. Now we can see is Chosen and Kim, and it looks like they're about to be having a conversation, and I can pretty much tell that they're about to fall in love with each other, start a romantic relationship. And I think it has revealed in the show that Chosen has feelings for Kim and wants to get together with her, but I don't know what's going to happen by the end of the show with the two of them. But I think it's starting to get pretty interesting with Chosen now talking to Kim. I'm pretty sure we'll have to wait and see for what happens. And then in this last photo that they posted, it is with all of the kids, all the guys watching the Sekai Taikai between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai. And so that means everyone is going to be watching this tournament, and even for whoever who wins or loses, and I guess it's going to be epic. And now, for what I think is about to go down in part 2 is that I think it's going to continue right where it left off in its cliffhanger, but with the students in Miyagi-Do, that's going to go up against the people in Cobra Kai, especially with Tori, that was so filled with anger that has joined Kreese's side, and possibly she's gonna be hurting a lot of people, especially with Sam. These two has always been on each other's nerves, but eventually became friends, but not anymore. But I'm guessing for how this is gonna all tie into part 3. Maybe something might happen. Maybe they'll get an old cast member from the Karate Kid film series or something else, and also, just for how part 2 is gonna go down, plus we only have 5 episodes in part 2, so I'm guessing more stuff is going to be revealed, especially if they're gonna touch upon the Mr. Miyagi Sekai Taikai storyline, because that's what Daniel also revealed, that he also fought once in the Sekai Taikai. So maybe this will touch upon more on that. But man, I am so excited, and I hope that we get a full trailer for part 2 soon. And even what they're teasing this up to be, this amazing once-in-a-lifetime tournament with Sekai Taikai, I am ready for it. And one last thing that I'll say is that I am excited for part 2 of Cobra Kai's final season, and for whatever happens at the end of that. If it's going to end on a big, huge cliffhanger, that's going to set up part 3, the final 5 episodes of the show. And I hope that the show ends with a bang, because this is the legacy show that we all love so much, and it continues to get better with every season, and especially with the fight scenes and the epic choreography. It is absolutely amazing, especially with the tournament, and even for whoever ends up winning or losing, there's going to be so much rivalries and enemies to be made. And even after that, it's going to set up the Karate Kid movie with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan. And yeah, I'm excited for what part 2 has to deliver, and hopefully that we can get that trailer explaining more. But this is an awesome tease from Netflix for Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2. So yeah, I'm excited. But that's going to do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and what your thoughts on these first look photos for Part 2 of Cobra Kai's final season, and what are you looking forward to the most, and what are your predictions? Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and subscribe to turn notifications about future videos. Also follow all my social medias over to link down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.